So when setting up this kind of series, it's a good idea to off balance your opponent. Whenever we can draw our opponent's hands and elbows away from his hips in motions like this, it's a great time to start attacking. Again, we always have the goal of drawing our opponent's elbows and hands away from the hips. From here, it's kind of the same concept of as your partner begins sitting up, you start attacking. As your partner based out and begins facing you, this right here is my cue to go. So I draw my opponent's hands away from his hips by pushing these to one side, forcing him to post. If he doesn't post, he just falls over pretty easily. He's forced to post, thus drawing his elbows away from his hips. As he goes to readjust and face you, it's a great time to start attacking. So we force our opponent to post. Go is when we start initiating the attack. Once again, we force our opponent to the post by pushing these to one side. As he goes to face us, go is a great time to start initiating our body lock passing. So opponent's in front of me, we're hand fronting a little bit. I begin pushing knees to one side. He posts and begins facing me. In between where he posts and he completes the facing me, I want to start initiating this pass. I push knees to one side, he faces me, I start again, diving in with the intention of getting my head on the center line, long arm, short arm connection, and heel to butt connection. So opponent's in front of me, we're hand fronting a little bit. I push knees to one side, he faces me, and I start diving in, getting my hands locked. As we're here, pushing knees to one side, I like to have the concept of diving my arms in, thumb down. I feel as if it makes me a smaller target, makes it harder for my opponent to defend when I go thumb down around the hips and with the intention of locking my body lock. So I push hands to one side, he faces me, I start attacking the body lock, thumb down, head on the center line, long arm, short arm grip, and heel to butt connection. So once again, partners in front of us, push knees to one side, he faces me, I start diving in, acquiring hands locked around the waist, head on the center line, and heel to butt connection. Let's do a few. It's a good idea to recognize that when an opponent is attacking me in this kind of sequence, I'm going to push my knees. As he's attacking me here, defensively, he's going to be wanting to push your head to the hip, start reaching over you, and doing different kinds of defenses from here. You even have the case scenario where opponents will get the hands kind of in the throat. Go ahead and get your hands locked. Opponents will put their hands around the throat, try to frame and push you away. It's a good idea to keep dominant head position, keep your head on the center line. As long as you keep your head on the center line, it makes it much harder for your opponent to defend and get to a dominant defensive position. So when you're attacking this, do a good job of pushing these to one side, forcing your opponent to post. As he goes from posting to facing you, that's the time you should start initiating this attack. Once you're in tight on your opponent, you have your hands locked, head on the center line, and you're forcing heel to butt connection. Be aware that your opponent is going to try to frame on the head, push your head downward towards the hips. You're going to be trying to push your throat away. It's a good idea to keep in mind the dominant head position will allow you to win this position.